Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am David Pradana, and at this time I would like to explain about language acquisition. So, this is our mind mapping about language acquisition in this PowerPoint. The first is language acquisition, and second, child language. Third, difference between language acquisition and child language, and the development of language acquisition in humans. Language acquisition meaning. Language acquisition is scientific discipline that has a system or LED that helps children acquire language, guides them in the learning stage and teach children language, and tells them what is wrong in the learning process. Language acquisition is the process by which humans acquire the ability to understand and produce language. Whether as a first, second, third, and so on language. The study of language acquisition provides evidence for theoretical linguistics and has practical application in language pedagogy. The language acquisition device, or LAD, is a hypothetical device in the brain proposed by linguist Noam Chomsky that allows humans to learn a language. According to Chomsky, LAD is an innate aspect of the human brain that is pre-programmed with certain grammatical structures that are common to all languages. Chomsky argues that it is this device that explains why children can learn a language so quickly and with little formal instruction. And in this slide, I will explain about children language. Children who learn a language do one big task, namely learning vocabulary dictionary. The vocabulary acquisition takes place over many years when children move from several hundred words acquired in the first year of the speech. They elaborate on each word on semantics. Children also have to learn how to use language figuratively, and that requires that they learn how to map one set of terms and their meanings into a second set sentences. This first requires to understand conventional meanings term in both utterances, and secondly, that they know how to preserve them, mapping the relationship from the first sentence to the second sentence. While children can do it, this is for the meaning of certain sentences from the age of all. Most of their expertise is in figurative language. The interpretation and use of language developed later, because it was built on earlier foundation acquisitions of conventional meanings and its semantic relationship within in every utterance. And the slides is differences between language acquisition and child language. I will try to explain child language first. So language is a language learned by children from the beginning of the growth and brain development and how to speak. This is language. Uh, this language is the main language that children will always use in their daily life. They will learn a step-by-step process that uses their brain system to acquire the first language. They will record and save every word they hear, make, making it their way to speaking. The thing that children need to pay attention to when learning language is vocabulary. The people around them must be able to pronounce the vocabulary correctly and not mistakenly, which then children will listen and store their brain memory. The sentences utterance they hear are a means from them to speak and learn their first language. The harsh and the just sentences or utterances, they will affect the children's brain system or feelings. Next, uh, language acquisition is the next things or process of the child is able to use the brain to acquire of a language. The system of the human brain works according to what they hear and use. Language acquisition is used to acquire a second or third language so as to make humans bilingual or multilingual. The way they store different language theories is something unique and not say about the other creatures. Humans are able to remember two or even more vocabulary from different languages. The storage in the human brains has such a large space that it makes them capable of using different languages at one time. And this last is how to develop the language acquisition in childs or in humans. Early childhood teachers have an important role in supporting children's language development. After all, it is with them that many children spend most of their working hours. Therefore, it is important for early childhood teachers to develop an understanding of the principle of language development and how best to support them in their practice. Because basically, a child's development depends on what he hears and sees. Here are various ways to develop a child's abilities. First is children learn what they hear most often. It is well established in the research literature that there is a relationship between the amount of language children hear and their own language development. Simply put, the more language children the more languages children hear, the more words they produce. This is the most important thing because without realizing it, they will produce language in the statistical system process. What they hear is what they imitate and say. And second is children learn words for things and even that interest them. Children are the agents of the learning, and this is also applies to word and language learning. It has been proven repeatedly that children are more likely to learn words that interest them, a phenomenon that has been explained as the relevance principle. It is based on the idea that relevance is the only property that makes information worth processing, create pleasant conditions to the children feel happy and interested in learning new things. They desire to learn and be curious about they see as is an efficient way to children new things, to teach children new things. Third is an interactive and responsive environment supports language learning. Interaction is the key to language learning. In practice, this means talking to children rather than speaking as usual. Also, the first principle highlights the importance of language input, that is, the amount of language children hear. It is important to remember the importance of interactions, questions, and turn talking. A lot, a lot of the vocabulary is indeed important in learning a language, especially for children. But how to exchange languages is no less important in learning a language for children. Don't just talk to children to make them just listen, but interact with them until they respond to what we say. Fourth, children learn best in meaningful context. Context is very important for children's learning of words. Studies looking at word learning during play show that children learn more words in situations where these words refer to the object they are playing with than without such context. For example, playing with blocks provides an excellent context for children to learn the shapes and color of building blocks, but also special words. A study with children as young as 4 years old showed that playing with blocks provided an excellent context for children to learn special words, which in turn had a positive impact on their results in science later in life. Okay, the last I will say in this meeting, they are what I can explain for this material. I say sorry for the mistake. And the last I will say Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.